Hello friends, I hope you all are happy, fit, healthy and safe. In today's video, we will learn about the sexual reproduction in the plants. In the last video, we have learned about the sexual reproduction in the organisms. What is reproduction? That reproduction is nothing but the fusion of male and female gamete. Fusion of male and female gamete which results into an zygote, and that zygote later converts into embryo, and embryo progresses into an individual. So this is the reproduction. Sexual reproduction in the plants. Remember that the most essential reproductive part of the plant is the flower. What is that? It is the flower. Means flower is nothing but the most evolved and modified shoot for the purpose of reproduction. Flower is nothing but the most evolved and modified shoot for the purpose of reproduction. So here we can see the diagram of parts of a flower. A flower basically consists of accessory roles and essential roles. It consists of accessory roles which are subdivided into calyx and corolla, and the necessary roles, that is parts. It is androecium and gynoecium. It is androecium and gynoecium. Okay. Now this calyx and corolla are the accessory roles because they protect the inner roles. They protect the inner roles. Means if these are the necessary roles, that calyx and corolla are like this, and they protect this inner roles. Inner roles means what? Necessary roles, that is androecium and gynoecium. This calyx, the member of calyx are known as the sepals, which are green in color, which also helps in the photosynthesis process. And the members of corolla are known as the petals, which are variously colored, means in red color, orange color, white color, pink color, means they are differentiated into various colors. So they are the calyx and the corolla. Then there is androecium and gynoecium. Androecium and gynoecium. Now androecium, this androecium is the male reproductive part of the flower, whereas gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the flower. Any flower is subdivided into two reproductive organs. Likewise the human beings. Here androecium is the male reproductive organ and gynoecium is the female reproductive organ of a flower. So the single member of an androecium is known as the stamen. It is known as the stamen, which is divided into anther and filament. Anther and filament. And the single member of the gynoecium, that is female reproductive organ, is known as the, it is divided into stigma, style and ovary. It is divided into stigma, style and ovary. So here we can see that this is the pedicle. This flower is having pedicles. The flower which is having pedicles are known as pedicellate flowers. That flowers are known as the pedicellate flowers, and the flowers which are not having that pedicle are known as the sessile flowers. Are known as the sessile flowers. So this is the pedicle, that is the base of the flower, which provides the support to the flower. Which provides the support to the flower. Upon pedicle there is the sepals, that is calyx member of the flower. It is also green in the color. Upon calyx, means upon, if suppose if this is the calyx, there is a situated ovary. There is a situated ovary which is having a style and stigma. Here you can see this is the ovary containing ovules which forms different kinds of egg. This ovary consists of ovules, and this ovary enlarges into the environment through the style and the stigma. So stigma, style and ovary combinedly called as gynoecium. Combinedly called as gynoecium, female reproductive part of the flower. And this anther and this filament combinedly called as androecium, that is male reproductive part of the flower. Androecium consisting of a anther and the filament. This anther is attached to the filament with a connective. It is also known as the connective. Okay, so this is all about the androecium and gynoecium. Now there are some also another members which are known as the accessory roles of the flower. They are corolla, that is single member of the corolla is known as the petals which are differentiated into various colors. The main role of these petals is to attract the insects for the pollination. We will learn about the pollination, but right now just remember that the main and important function of the petals is nothing but to attract the biotic agents for the purpose of pollination, for the purpose of fertilization in the flower. So this is the parts of a flower. Now remember my friend, every flower is having two reproductive organs, male reproductive organs and female reproductive organs. So such flowers which are having both the reproductive organs, that is androecium and gynoecium, that flowers are known as bisexual flowers. Means which flowers having both sexes, they are known as the bisexual flowers. Okay, and the flowers which are having only male reproductive organ, that is androecium, or the only female reproductive organ, that is gynoecium, that flowers are known as the unisexual flowers. The example of bisexual flower is the hibiscus, that is Rosa chinensis. Rosa chinensis. And the example of the female flower, that is female unisexual flower, is the papaya. You can observe in papaya plant there is a plant which are having the flowers which do not reproduces fruits, that is the male papaya plant, and the papaya plant which produces fruits, that is the female papaya plant. So they are the unisexual flowers, or that plants are known as unisexual plants. Okay, so this is all about the parts of the flower, reproductive organs of the flower, and the various purposes and various functions of the parts of the flower. So this is about the all basic information about the reproduction in the plant. Remember, flower is nothing but the modified and evolved shoot of the plant just for the purpose of reproduction in the plants. Now we will learn about the reproduction process in the plants. Now we will learn about the reproduction process and fertilization process in the flower or in the plant. So this process starts with the pollination. Remember the term pollination. Pollination means the settling of a pollen grain from the anther, that is the male gamete or male reproductive organ. Pollen is the male gamete. Okay, settling of the pollen on the stigma. Settling of the pollen on the stigma, that process is known as the pollination process. That process is known as the pollination process. This pollination process now is carried out by the two agents which are divided into biotic agents and the abiotic agents. Now here biotic agent means insects and other living organisms because of which this pollination occurs, and the abiotic agents means wind, water, air, etc. Okay, means totally non-living things which carried out this pollination process. Now what happens, because of the stickiness of the stigma, some sugary substance, there is a stickiness on the stigma, these pollen grains attaches to the stigma and then it germinates there and the pollination occurs and it releases a pollen tube. Here you can see this is the pollen tube. This is whole the pollen tube. Okay, it releases the pollen tube through the style towards the ovary, and this pollen tube consists of male gametes. This pollen tube consists of male gametes. Two male gametes are there. Now this style enlarges into an ovary which is consisting of the different ovules, that is eggs, which is consisting of the different ovules, that is egg. Here we can observe in the maximized figure of this particular ovule. Here I have expanded this figure. This ovule means a single ovule or an egg consists of two synergids which nourishes the egg cell which is in between the synergids. Here is the egg cell and the egg nucleus. Then here in the center of the ovule there are two polar nuclei. There are two polar nuclei, and at the base there are three antipodals. There are three antipodals. Okay. Now what happens when these male gametes from the pollen tube enters into the ovary? This pollen tube get burst. This pollen tube get burst, and these male gametes releases into the ovary. Now see what happens. One of the male gamete fuses with the egg cell. One of the male gamete fuses with the egg cell, and that is known as the fertilization. It will form into a embryo. Understood? One of the male gamete fuses with the egg cell and forms embryo. That is known as the fertilization process. It is known as the fertilization process. And another male gamete fuses with the two polar nuclei. Another male gamete fuses with the two polar nuclei, and this will result into the formation of the endosperm. Means, suppose one male gamete fusing with the egg cell and one male gamete fusing with the polar nuclei. Means here fertilization occurred twice. That's why this process is known as the double fertilization. That's why this process is known as the double fertilization. Means one male gamete fuses with the egg cell, forms the embryo, and one male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei, which forms the endosperms. Like, suppose in an apple, that seeds are nothing but the embryo, and the fruit which we consume is nothing but the ovary. Understood? Means this polar nuclei and that the another male gamete which results into endosperm nourishes to the that particular embryo, and the ovary, means this ovary results into the fruit. Remember, for example, if we are eating an mango, okay, then the seed of the mango is nothing but the embryo, and the that fruit which we consume is nothing but the ovary. Means actually we are consuming the ovary. Understood? We are consuming the ovary of a fruit. Now this is all about the reproduction process in the plants. I will repeat it. The pollen grains settles on the stigma because of its sticky nature. Then it releases the pollen tube through the style towards the ovary. In the pollen tube there are two male gametes. After the burst of the pollen tube, one male gamete fuses with the egg cell, and that is known as the fertilization, and one male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei, that is known as the formation of the endosperm. In this way, the sexual reproduction in the plants is occurred. Now, this embryo will result into the seed and its covering fruit, that is which is the formation of the ovary. In this way a fruit occurs. When that seed germinates into the seed, it will again regenerate into the single individual plant, and in this way this reproduction process in the plants is being completed. So this is all about the sexual reproduction. Now remember my friends, if the pollination occurs in the same flower of the same plant or in between the two flowers of the same plant, it is known as the self-pollination. It is known as the self-pollination. But if the pollination occurs between the two flowers of the two different plants of the same species, is known as the cross-pollination. But nowadays, for the high yield production of the essential things, the scientists are being produced different varieties by crossing the plants of the different species, and that pollination, that fertilization is known as the hybridization. It is known as the hybridization. So this is all about the sexual reproduction in the plants. I hope you will learn the most beneficial part of that chapter, and thank you very much. Be safe. Thank you.